Hello. Hi, everybody. How are you? Welcome to stream number 4. 1, 2, 3. It's stream number 4, but I won't keep track so much going forward from here. How are you doing? What's up? I see there's a few people here. And then this time we have Instagram and YouTube. So hopefully that's better than just YouTube. I just didn't know how to do Instagram, and then I figured it out for this time. Yeah. Well, anyway, as people come in, I'm just gonna get started with a game. I did this before in a previous stream. Doing well, thanks. Anik, thank you for letting me know. I'm glad you're doing well. I hope you're excited for this. And just if there's anything that you have a question or you want to talk about or you want me to talk about, um, just let me know and I will be happy and willing to talk about it. So today's theme is it takes courage to change. And I want to, I don't know, talk about a few things, like go into that. And if that sparks anything for you, let me know. So I'm gonna be checking out Instagram. Nelson, welcome. Thank you for checking out on Instagram. And um, okay, so I am realizing right now that Instagram has a huge delay compared to YouTube. Just to let you know. So anyway, Nelson, hope you're doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. All right, now we can do this together. So if you're in the Discord group chat, you can take a second and open it up. That's yeah, and then we're gonna do some Wordle, yeah. So let me share this screen here, window, or let's share the entire screen, huh? Okay, I messed up. Give me a second. I did stop screen. Okay. Oh my gosh. Give me. Oh my goodness. I am. I am just such a noob. Gosh. What am I trying to do again? ADHD. Yeah, that's right. Share my screen. Share my entire screen and do that with the sound. Okay. Now let's do this. Doing this. Now we're doing that. And we did it. Okay. Jeez. Okay. All right. So let's do it. Let's do some Wordle, huh? I had some crazy guesses the other day. If you want to check that out, it was live, and I'm so happy it was because there's no way I could I don't know. It's like one of those things that you're so happy it is recorded or. All right. First guess. Any first guesses? Um, hmm. First guess. First guess is probably the most important one, isn't it? And then I'm drinking a protein shake. It's cookies and cream flavor, but I mixed a banana in here because our bananas are old. And anyway, now it's banana flavored cookies and cream, but I just taste the banana with like a cakey protein, Yeah. All right. See. How about ghost? Oh, okay, not so bad. It's not so bad. Hmm. Ghost. Come on. Come on. All right, not so bad, not so bad. I don't want to pile. Oops. Piles. Okay, okay, we got. Oh, stupid. Jeez. Inspire moments. Oh, hello. So basically, Wordle is a game where there is a specified word or unspecified word that's already predetermined. So it's a 5-letter word, and we're just trying to guess it. The yellow. So and then we guess it with using other 5-letter words, and then So as you can see, I guessed ghost and then piles. So basically, in the guessed word, we have a yellow tile and we have red tile and a gray tile. So gray means that the letter just is not in the word. Um, a yellow tile is when orange is the letters in the word, but it's not in the right place. And then a green tile is the correct letter in the correct place. And so we have, and then we have a total of 6 guesses. Um, and then that's it. It's a simple game. And so if you want to play, uh, and not get spoiled, sorry, but maybe we can play together. That's the best solution I have right now. So, let's see. Yeah, dude. Okay, it was kind of a bad thing on me to guess an S again, especially on the second guess. Um, yeah, when I already know there's an S. So, but we got an I. All right. Um, so let's see. I feel like the pressure is real when I'm being recorded. But and I just had some crazy guesses in the past, and I'm like hoping that would happen again, but probably doesn't. It won't happen for a while. Um. No, noisy? All right, thanks. I'll take it. Dude, what the heck, man? Come on. Thanks. Awesome. Dude. Hey, welcome. Nelson, no way. Are you sure? Come on. No way, dude. That was crazy. Well, thanks for your help, man. Well, that's it. Caught cheating live, huh? Yeah, sweet. So, what really? That was a genuine guess. Wonderful. Well, thank you for your help, and that was actually pretty legit then. You didn't cheat. It's just one. Oh yeah, and the thing about it is just it's one a day. It's just one a day. There's all we can do, so we can't do another one. I mean, there's different apps, but that's just kind of like an icebreaker. Just I hope you had a good time with that. I was not expecting that. Good guess. That was awesome. Okay, let me unshare my screen. How do you like my background? It's my favorite background. It's my um, profile picture and like everything. Okay. Um, oops. All right. So when you look at the title, what do you guys think? It takes courage to change. What do you guys think about that? Is that interesting, or how do you feel about that? Is it sparking any kind of things that's going on in your life or things you want to talk about? Let's look at Instagram here. Yeah, just let me know how you're doing, and um, yeah, it's a good game. I love that. You need change in your life, don't we all? And we all want we all need change. We all want better change. We all want to become better, like every day, right? But what kind of change are you looking for, Noxon? I don't know who you are. I'm just gonna keep it chat based. Everyone drink your water too. I have been so dehydrated. Okay, so I think I have tried to change a lot, but then backtrack to old habits. Jew, that is very relatable. Everyone, yeah, I can't think of somebody who hasn't gone through that experience, and we can talk about that. Okay, yeah. So that's courage and faith that things that can change for the better. Yeah, it takes faith too. Um, faith that, so there is one conversation that I had in a previous stream where um, yeah, I don't know, yeah, somebody was talking about how it was hard to find the the is it like the value and the effort that's being made, and believe that like the effort being put in now is gonna like come to fruition later, right? So that is so true. Like it takes a lot of faith and courage that the things and the effort you put in, especially if it's like followed up by setbacks, and it's really discouraging when that happens. um yeah, it's hard to believe if those efforts will actually amount to anything. Yeah, absolutely. And so the key to finding the difference, um like to find the the point of change, right? I often allude to the idea of a bamboo. Do you know how bamboo trees grow? So essentially, I wish there's one. There was one popular streamer who used MS Paint, and he grew, and then he just drew things, and then to make a point. I don't know how, if you guys want that, but I'll just use my hands. So for bamboo, it takes, I don't know, like a long time to grow. Like, as it spends a lot of time as a shoot, as a bamboo shoot. Okay, I don't know if you a bamboo shoot. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to continuously share my screen, and then I can just take it on and off stage. So let's see, bamboo. Okay, first, I don't want to spread fake news, but growth period. I don't know. Okay, so it looks like, geez, as a shoot, it's pretty. Google's not being pretty. It's not being so clear. Let's see, bamboo shoot. Okay, so, oh, oh, and then it grows rapid. Oh, okay, got it. So it's not as long as I thought. I thought it was 6 or 7 years, but no, it's 30 to 60 days where it spends as a shoot, or and it spends as a like 60. It says, wait, hold on. So bamboo shoot growth period for emerging from the ground to reaching its full height lasts approximately 60 days. Okay, that's really short, but as a shoot, it takes a lot of time. Google is not being specific, but I know that, I've been told that as a, and anyway, whatever the truth is, this example is true. Okay, so when there's truth in the idea of it. Okay, so there's bamboo, and it, as a bamboo shoot in the ground, it takes a long time to like develop and mature. Then after that long set of time, it springs up between 30 and 60 days into up to its full like amount of growth. Okay, and so in that first period of time, like there's a bunch of, processes being done, biological, physiological is probably like just human body things, right? But anyway, in the body of the bamboo shoot, okay, there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of investment being put in to eventually start shooting up in growth like crazy. And so the way that we can like kind of take that, yeah, if we can take that like kind of analogy and like apply it, and that the effort that we put in, right, the courage that we have, the practicing and values that we put in, right, it takes a lot of consistency, a lot of effort, and then like the change just like suddenly becomes visible suddenly, like, okay. Yeah, anyway, like number one key to change is consistency. Like if you fail, you got to get back up, you got to continue, like you can't give up. There's if you really want that change, and it's like you fall back, you got to get back up again. that's and then that takes courage, okay, and being really honest with yourself, being really honest with, sometimes it's a lot harder than you think, or maybe yeah, it's not that you're weak, it's just a lot harder than you think to break a habit. But when that when that investment is put in, suddenly you'll just see that your life has changed. I think I don't know, when people lose weight, it's like you see like these time lapses or like these photo series where people are like just they go through an entire journey to lose hundreds of pounds, right? Those people, those YouTube videos, right? They usually go viral. A lot of dedicated work is put in, um, and that's the type of change that lasts too. Yeah. I went to ChatGPT to ask it about the growth process. It was very interesting. Tell me about it. What was interesting about it? Was it kind of similar to what I said, or was it different? Yeah, similar. Okay, beautiful. So that, yeah. Anyway, I think that's how I want to internalize it, right? So, but it's also not the same for everybody, and everyone has their own growth and own journey. But I really, I think a deep rooted belief of mine is like it does take community, and it's a lot easier to do in community. It's not impossible to do alone, but it is incredibly difficult to do alone. Got a bug bite here. Yeah, and it takes immense. Okay, yes, though not here. Let me put it on screen and then read it. So yes, though not in the way that we usually think of effort, bamboo doesn't have conscious will. It's not trying the way a human would from biological perspective. It takes immense probably energy, right? Um, yeah, yeah, effort, so-called effort. There's no conscious choice that the bamboo isn't it just natural process, right? And that's what's really different about human beings and like creation. Is that yeah, portion of responsibility is very different for something being, just completely natural versus something that we really have to take responsibility over to find growth. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So here's the first comment. So yes, though not in the way we think of effort, but from a biological perspective, it takes immense energy and coordination for a shoot to grow. Stored energy release, bamboo calms the underground ribosomes, store nutrient sugar starches when the conditions are right. The plant channels this. Thank you. Yeah. Anyway, was that okay? Yeah. Thank you. It's anyway. I just love that example. And one of the key things I learned like on my GPA year, and one of the things actually one of the brothers that I did GPA with is just like learning how much investment is never wasted. I did 2 years of GPA, and when I was a captain, I think every team I had, it felt like I could do nothing. Like I could love them and support them, and they were just like struggle and struggle and struggle. And then on a different team, they would just like break through. They would find God in some experience. It's like why wasn't this like this was never happening on my team? And I always felt bad about that. But one of the biggest um, yeah, one of the main points that was like taught to me from that instance is that it's not that my investment wasn't enough. It was like that investment that happened in my team allowed them to break through. Because if I didn't invest, it would have taken so much more effort from the next captain or the next team or the next condition, or the members' effort too, to be able to break through and to find what they were looking for. So anyway, I want to live by that, and it's sometimes easy to forget, but it's always something that I'm reminded of pretty regularly. So I forget it, but I'm reminded of it. Yeah. Aju. Arigatou gozaimasu. Dude, I have one of this really cool nasal inhaler. The mint stick. Oh, it's not bath salts. It's just minty, but it's supposed to clear your sinuses. You can see this nostril is just clogged. Whoa. Cool. Okay. Yeah, it's strong. Every time I use it, I say, "Whoa, whoa." Ah. Okay. Yeah, courage. Um, I don't know. One of the things I learned also from a previous stream was that, uh, like one of the points that I don't know if I just understood it completely. What's let me finish. So, what I didn't understand completely was like I thought out of the high noon virtues, right? So if you're looking at the five high noon virtues, it's honesty. Oh, this is pop quiz, okay? Grace, honesty, grace, accountability, integrity, and courage. Courage was always listed last. And I was like, and then in the like the Sun lessons, there's like the courage is like the one of the most important things because without courage, you wouldn't be able to do that. And I'm like, why is courage? My gripe with it was like, why is courage mentioned last, right? I don't understand why if it's one of the most important things, why isn't it mentioned first? And it's not that it's yeah, order might be important, and I think it is. I think each one does build on each other with like honesty, great, like being honest with other people, finding grace through being honest, telling the truth about yourself, and feeling loved, right, no matter what, and then having accountability, partnerships and relationships to, you know, kind of yeah, have someone help you find the change you want to find, and then having integrity, which is also kind of maintaining your honesty and living a life that you're meaning to live, and then courage to do all that, right? And I'm like, well, why isn't courage first? It's because you need courage to do all that, right? It takes a lot of courage, to be honest. It takes courage to believe in someone, to love you, right? And I was like, why? Why? That's why, like, until only recently, my like curriculum that I'm trying to plan for the 21 day, like not workshop, like the 21-day course that I'm trying to formulate for High Noon High School is like courage is first. And one thing was said in a previous stream that made it very clear to me that actually courage actually does come last, because or not come last, but like it's mentioned last because like it does take courage. I don't think that's wrong. It does take a lot of courage to be honest and to find grace and to be accountable, like and to hold accountability for yourself and to find and seek help, right? And then having integrity, right? But with courage is that only with those things can you also grow your courage too. Yeah, and it's like a really healthy cycle. When you experience those things and courage grows, and then when the courage grows, the honesty and finding grace becomes easier. And it's actually not easy from the start. It's not easy from the start. It's actually really hard. It's a muscle that we have to build. It's a habit and a lifestyle that we have to develop. And when I learned that, or when I like kind of realized that through talking to the chat and myself, I realized that it was, and like just thinking about it, yeah, like that's actually a huge point that I think makes a lot of sense to me. Um, but I like to think I'm open minded, and I want to hear some opinions. But um, yeah, let's see. Let's look at Instagram. How you guys doing? Instagram. Lots of people coming in. Lots of people coming in. Lots of people leaving. Or I don't know. Maybe not event log. Let's see. Uh, well, yeah. Okay. Let's look at your comments. Sorry. So I think it also takes courage because you have to overcome yourself. Exactly. Exactly. Like for example, for me, it's difficult because I want things to be perfect. Don't we all? Don't we all want to live in an ideal world? And a lot of people have different opinions about that. My goodness. Anyway, I talked about this in a previous stream. I'm not sure like how much I'm really willing, right? But the death of Charlie Kirk is like, yeah, that event, right, that happening. And then actually it's really crazy just how much people are coming out and talking about their opinions. um and I realized, first of all, like, I'm actually friends with a lot of like people on like some extremes, and a lot of people in the middle, and like kind of like on, you know, a little bit this way and a little bit that way. And I don't know, I really loved how I can see all that and see it happening. And man, like, it's tragic, but it's also something that kind of we need our eyes to be opened a little bit. um what a world, you know. Sorry, completely tangent. It's just something I've been thinking about so much. And I'm sure, yeah, it's just something that's just on my feed constantly so far, right? Just with like through Instagram, not so much YouTube, but I'm not on YouTube so much recently, except listening to lo-fi music when I work. Yeah, but yeah, I have my opinions, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. There's a lot that I don't know, and I'm so curious to what people really feel, you know. And I think everyone's justified to feel the way they feel. It makes a lot of sense, especially considering a lot of people's histories and, you know, how it's things have impacted them and things haven't impacted them. Well, you know, on the opposite end, the things that haven't impacted people will impact other people in a different way. And that is something I gained a lot from watching a film called The Wisdom of Trauma. So good. The wisdom of trauma. It's like trauma isn't what happened to you, it's how you interpret what happened to you. Um, it's like kind of one of the points they share. Um, and then, yeah, I don't know if you heard about the guy they made the Wisdom of Trauma or featuring is Dr. Gabor Mate. Um, yeah, it's he was a doctor who kind of realized that, like, the symptoms that people are experiencing are really impacted by certain like traumas in their life and stress. That and then he kind of like went into that, and then now he's like a specialist, or he helps people with addictions. He's in Canada, and so like I think, yeah, anyway, he's based in Canada, and then he's doing a lot of work. He wrote a few books, but the Wisdom of Trauma was something that really shaped like how I experienced it. And one of the things that also stick with me around like the Dr. Gabor Mate, he talks about how, like, when something's triggering for us, like think of a gun and a trigger, right? And you think talking about gun control, right? Thinking about a gun, thinking about a trigger, and like internally, like imagine that internally we're all like guns, internally speaking. And I'm kind of shifting this around, but the idea is that when people trigger us, when people pull our trigger, we explode, we shoot, right? We get hurt, we can, you know, we get angry, or we respond in, you know, in pain, right? When we get triggered. But the idea of that is like, well, you know, it's easy to think, okay, well, then it's because someone pulled the trigger. And it's like, actually, it's like, what is the ammo that you have in your magazine, in your heart, that's causing the trigger to be effective? You know, we all have triggers, but like, is it effective? You know, like how do we respond to those things? Do we explode, or do we just not have ammo to let anything happen to the trigger, to the things that trigger us? And so the anyway, yeah, geez, going into this and then like realizing the ammunition in our hearts, right, that cause us to explode and cause the triggers to have effect on us, take a lot of courage to look at. There's a lot of pain behind the experiences that we had in our past, and it takes so much courage to look at that pain, right? It's so much easier to want to run away, run away, right? To, you know, leave, to have a unfulfilling day and just finish your day watching Instagram because the dopamine hit, right? And then feeling sorry that you watched so much Instagram, falling asleep late, and then feeling sorry that you accomplished nothing that you wanted to accomplish, or feeling unfulfilled throughout the day, even though it might have been a pretty good day actually. and someone else's perspective, right? It could have been, but like, um, yeah, don't think about it. It's or a lot of people don't think about it, and it's really hard. Um, so anyway, if there's anything like I'm really up for, it's just talking and communication and community. Gosh, like finding a community, but not just like a community that's just so one-sided. Actually, that's pretty toxic, isn't it? It can it has a potential to be toxic if it's super one-sided, right? We see this on either side of the political spectrum being was it like so extreme on either end, when like people can be open and talk about their opinions, and usually the people who are extreme are just the ones who are outspoken, but most people are just in the middle and they understand both sides. Okay, I need to understand what 6-7 the 6-7 meme is it like just mid, just this another way of saying mid or meh or so like dude, I am jeez, 6-7, huh? So you just say 6-7 or you say 67? You don't even know? What the heck, man? You're supposed to. I'm kidding. You're the one who used it. Okay, well, I did a Google search and that's what it said, and I'm like, okay, 6-7, or is it like 6-7? Like, dude, 67, 6-7. Okay. Jeez. Can you guys hear that? I'm moving on my chair. Can you hear that? Did you? It sounds like a fart. I'm not farting. That wasn't a fart. There's a hand motion to it. What is this? 6-7 meme. Hand gesture. Hand gesture. What am I doing, dude? I'm actually looking this up. Holy moly. Is this it? Dude, what? It's like this. 6-7. 6-7. Or is it the other way? Or is it like this? So middle finger like this. 6-7. Yeah, it's just jeez. Dude, that is so funny. Oh my god. The fact that I'm looking this up, I think is really funny. This is the meme. There's a lot of middle fingers too. Sorry. Sorry to ruin your days with middle fingers. Actually, there's just one, and it's this skeleton one. Dude, that's so funny. Oh, this is it? 6-7, 6-7. Got it. It's actually this way because I'm mirrored, right? 6-7. So funny. All right, let's put that away. Instagram, how you guys doing? Okay, YouTube is my main guys, my main audience, my main peoples. Thank you for being here. Okay, so why don't we play a game? You guys, do you like games? I like games. Now, I haven't downloaded a new game in a long time. But let's queue up some Balloons Tower Defense. Lagging. Okay, there you go. Never mind. I'm not lagging. I'm just Let's queue up. Wait, what is the timer for? Lol. I joined from Instagram because you went live. The timer. Probably from the beginning, just counting down to starting. Um, yeah, let's go. Oh, you can't see it. Let's. No, the timer was just for me starting the stream. That's all. Dude, do you guys play this? Probably not. Do you have you ever played this in your childhood? What the heck? I can unlock that. Okay. So, dude. See, I was in the middle of doing this. I don't want to think so hard. I want to look at you guys and I want to chat. And I don't want to do in a hard map. Well, let's do this one. Frick, Apocalypse is really hard. And you never played? You never played Balloons Tower Defense? Dude, it's a fun game. Really. Uh huge huge part of my childhood. Balloons Tower Defense like 4 and 5. Like during computer time at school, this what we play on ninjakiwi.com. Uh it's just a whole bunch of games. But number 6 is like the most developed and they're just continuing to update it. Okay, this is a hard mode, so I definitely need to focus here. But like it's mostly a chill game. It's mostly a chill game, but there's like challenges and like things like this where like this mode the balloons never stop. Usually the balloons come in rounds and the rounds progressively get more intense, like more balloons, more you see red balloons here. Here. You see the red balloons here? Um yeah. Dude, is it like really laggy? Okay, it's not so bad. But yeah, once these balloons turn blue, then they have 2 layers, and then more and more layers, and then there's like metal balloons, so you need like special popping power darts things. It's a great game. I love this game so much. It's great pastime, and it's hilarious. So it's hilarious. It's cute. It's really cute. It's I wouldn't say it's hilarious. I'm just kind of speaking out of my butt right now. There you go. Gonna get this upgrade. Oh yeah, and then you upgrade your monkeys. They get stronger, and then the balloons can't get past you, man. Okay, here we go. So what I just did is I upgraded it to advanced intel. So this lets this monkey. So you see the dark circle here. That's like the range that this. I guess the popping tower. It's a tower defense game. So I'm just gonna say they're monkeys. But it's a tower defense game. So I'm just gonna call them towers. But this submarine tower, right? It has the range of every other monkey that exists in the map. It's really cool. And yeah, just building up, building it up. And the really hard thing about this mode is that it's a continuous. Dude, I'm actually explaining tower defense, like Balloons Tower Defense. I never thought I'd be here. But anyway, yeah. So normally there's rounds. So you can see like there's round 15 out of 60, but this is like a special mode. So rounds don't like end. It's just continuous. And so what that means is hold on. So like these are all the upgrades, and then it can get like super crazy. Like you see, this is the final like ultimate upgrade for this monkey, right? And then there's also what is this? It's a new monkey. It's locked. But like this one also like it's from a boat to just absolute chaos, and it's awesome. Actually, it's one of my favorite towers. So this mode is not endless, but it's breakless. Like it's continuous up until round 60, and so it just doesn't stop. And right, what I was talking about earlier is that because it doesn't stop. In the usual modes, there's breaks between rounds, and in those breaks you get like cash bonuses, so like money bonuses to spend on your monkeys. But in this mode, because there's no breaks, you don't get those extra bonuses, those bonus monies, the bonus money, right? So Like it's harder because you have less cash to actually do anything. Yeah, I mean it's such a pretty game too. I maybe you can't quite see how nice it is just because my computer's like exacerbating. It's like hyperventilating because of how much I'm putting it through right now, streaming and playing games at the same time. But I don't think it's too bad. I think it's mostly internet, and at least on my screen it looks good. I'm so sorry, guys. My internet. I'm attached to was it the my apartment's like internet. So this apartment has 1 gigabyte per second speed for the entire building that's shared. And so having 1 gigabyte, that's like really high speed, but because it's shared, it's like split off. And so um, yeah, like we have a pretty good router that lets us kind of take advantage of as much internet as we can, but often it's throttled or like it's limited. Um, dude, I'm about to lose. I'm about to lose. Oh shoot. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Dude, this monkey, I love this monkey so much. Gosh. Okay. Next, let's get my second favorite monkey. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Frick. Dude, that's not what I wanted. So when you buy a monkey and then when you sell a monkey, um, it you sell it at a loss, just because it's just what it is. Yeah, I mean, particular I don't have a particular strategy. Um, yeah, there's like camo balloons. You see, like there's a slight camo pattern to some of these balloons. So that camo pattern is basically normal monkeys can't detect it because they're camo, right? So you can't see it. Um, but with this guy, he is um, he has camo detection, so he can see camo. But at level 8, all monkeys gain camo balloon detection. So every monkey can see when this guy becomes level 8. So as the rounds progress, he gains level, and then he. So it's not just him popping camo balloons. It's everybody, and then it's really good. So I also want to, yeah, okay. So then this guy, he's like a support monkey. He throws potions on other towers. So you see like little bubbles going on this one. He This fun game. Anyway, basically these bubbles means that this guy can pop this plane tower. You see, he can pop any type of balloon. Yeah. Okay. But because of the lack of camo detection, there's just so many camos. Jeez, it's kind of annoying. But he's almost there. Yeah. Is there a monkey you see that you're interested in? I can't show you the full roster, but a little bit at a time. Super monkey. Super is always duper. What am I saying? Uh, okay, actually, I want to buy another one of these guys. Put him towards the middle here, and then he has an upgrade that I really like, Crossbow Master. Yeah, yeah, it did. This guy is strong. um, yeah, definitely. It's a lot of monkeys, dude. You should see some of the saves I have where like it's around 100 plus. So after you finish, the game, which is round 60, you have the option to continue. I'm not going to continue this one because this mode is just. Well, actually, let's see how strong we can go. Let's see. You know what? Let's make it to around 100. 100 is always a goal. There's a prize at 100. You get instant monkeys. So instant monkeys, um, they're like, they're free monkeys that are upgraded to a certain level, and they're free. And you earn them by playing the game. Logging in is like a daily reward. I haven't played this game in a while, so But when I played, I was playing like crazy just because it was such a fun pastime because I could just listen to a podcast. Now I'm like doing a podcast almost, and watching this, playing this game. And you guys are watching with me. How is this? Is this boring? Are you guys having fun? If it, actually, let me know. You're only a little past halfway. I'm I'm doing my best. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to make this guy target strong. There you go. And then this guy too. Okay, this is getting pretty close. I don't like this. I'm not liking this, dude. I'm not liking this. Oh no, frick, dude. I am just okay, hold on. I think I'm about to lose. Okay, it's chaotic. Dude, yeah, it's oh my days. Why are there blimps? So the blimps are like the bosses basically, and oh my god. Okay, hold on. I have to, let's see how much. Jeez. I did not know there's a final form for this one. Okay. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I lost. No. Gosh. All right, let's lock in. We're restarting. Let's lock in. We're locking in here. We're locking in. We're finished. We're speed running this. Okay. Now I guess there's a certain time limit. Oh, thank you for joining. If you're, yeah, if you have to go, feel free. But if there's anything you want to specifically talk about, hey, go back to studying. Have a good time. Um, yeah, thanks for saying goodbye too. Oh, I appreciate the consideration. But hey, if you want to keep watching while studying, and then just mute, and then occasionally you can just mute me. But I appreciate the support. Listen to, I don't know if you listen to music, but oh freak. Okay, I need to lock in. Have a good time. But if any of you actually want to talk and listen or kind of read something else, let me know. But right now, I'm locking into this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, dude. Okay. I think we're good. I have to constantly kind of keep watch on these guys. Okay. Yeah, I mean, okay. I am thinking about like, yeah, this is high noon, right? And I'm just here playing games. uh, so if yeah, just let me know if there's anything I can do, and yeah, talk about. But I want to make this entertaining. I want to make this fun. I want to make a community. So let me know. Okay, I'm pretty confident that it's gonna be good. I'll be right back for. Hold on, I don't. Well, there's nothing I can do for a little bit. Okay, I'll be right back. So I want to show you something. Okay, that was really quick. Yeah, check this out. Here, let me actually edit this. Make myself a bit bigger. Save as new layout. I don't want to save as new layout. I want to update it. Shoot. I have to make sure. Jeez, I really have to lock in. Okay, there you go. Yeah, This okay. I love this dude. This guy. He grows like thorny paths away from him. So it's like anyway. He's really good. Okay. Save as custom layout. I don't want to save a custom layout. I want to save it as. I can just manage layouts. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'll just save it then. Just make myself bigger. I didn't make myself bigger at all. What the heck? Okay, but I wanted to show you guys something. Japanese snacks. So we got this Ajiwai vanilla. Oh, it's just vanilla flavored. It's not quite white chocolate. It's vanilla flavored. So usually it's chocolate. So let's crack it open. Let's get some calories. There it is. This is why Japan is the best. Look at this snack. It's an actual mushroom, and then the biscuit is like so good, dude. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. I think I like these a lot. Oh shoot! How loud is it? Oh my god, these are addicting. All right, there's one more. Nelson, is there anything you want to talk about? Was that like going into change and finding courage, or anything else too? Sorry, I just dropped your name. Dude, actually, I want to talk about, or I don't know, just bring it up in a conversation. Like, was it like how to get the Discord to be more active? I thought Wordle would be fun. Dude, hold on. I just want to call back to that guess that you made. That was genuinely the like you could have one shot. Oh my god, that was just absolutely goated of you. I think because you thought about what letters to use. You're a smart guy. It seems like. Geez, you come across as like really kind of you think well. You speak well too. So yeah, I want to. I think through these live streams too, like one skill I want to get better at is definitely like speaking more clearly and like smoothly, like being a better storyteller. I think it's one. Just communication in general is really good to practice, and a lot of people that I respect, like a trait that I really admire is like, yeah, being well spoken and being a good storyteller is always. It's always like yeah, it's just engaging. You can engage people really well. Maybe it's just confidence too. Maybe I'm sure. I'm very positive. There's a confidence aspect to it. Okay. What the heck is going on, dude? I know what's going on. Sorry, I'm talking about the monkeys right now. Um, okay, I'm at 5,000, 5K, and I am completely missing some things that I would love to have. Okay, got it. And then let me actually put this as a kind of a. Dude, why is this tower so freaking big? Okay. bottom path. And then let's just do bigger stacks. Hold on. Faster production or white hot? Faster, because we got this guy. So white hot would pop any balloon, but um, these because this guy's here, he's buffing that guy. And then um, one thing I haven't utilized so much recently that I think I should start utilizing is this this tower. So this tower buffs other towers and bigger radius. Oh, thank you, Nelson. Thank you for saying that I'm well spoken. I yeah, I want to be better. I've spoken at a few workshops and done some things, but when I don't have my mind made up about something or I haven't practiced something, it's pretty. It can get pretty. I stutter a lot or kind of circle. I circle a few times before I actually I figure out what my point is. But I will take it. Grow blocker monkey business. What is this? Additional 5 to stack up to 2 villagers. Yeah. Let's see. So provides 10% discount to all monkeys and upgrades. Tier 3 or less purchased in the radius of the village. Okay, I'll just go that way. Monkey training. All right. So what this does, it basically increases. So here, the village base, the base, what is it? The base is number of different benefits. It increases range of all monkeys and its radius by 10%. So that doesn't really matter so much for some of these. Dude, are you serious? It's right out of its range. Anyway, but there's like upgrades you can do for this that oh, I'm one. All right, we're doing around 100. Okay. Cuz that was nothing. We made it easy peasy. You too? Wait, you two for what? I missed it so that I'm ooh. Light work. Yeah, seriously. That was I wasn't even paying attention. But now we're locking in cuz now it gets hard. Yeah. Okay. Ugh. Yeah, all of our upgrades are like 20k, 25k, 29k. That's 40, 4,000, 21, 23. Okay, I think now is the time to kind of invest into banking. So this generates extra income. This tower. So just easy collect, banana salvage, and then marketplace. Just so I don't have to worry about it. Oh yeah, it's so chaotic, man. When you have things like this, it's just so crazy. Uh, freaking rockets flying everywhere and orange or red balls just demolishing and exploding things along with the menu and yeah, anyway, it's crazy. Okay, let me speed it up. Marketplace. And sometimes I lose the mouse. I lose the cursor. That anyway, that's just it's just what it is. Here you go. Preemptive strike. Okay, got it. Got it. Get this. Do that. Do this. Do that. And do that. Oh my gosh. Okay. So now we're kind of we need some. Okay. This is it. This is it. First glue. So okay. So I need. I want top path with 6. Okay. This one. This one. This one. This one. This one. Okay. Yeah. So I just added a glue gunner monkey. That guy, I upgraded him to corrosive glue. Yeah. So red blimps have, I think it's red blimps have, yeah, and then there's this freaking black blimp here. So red has 4 blue blimps inside. This black blimp has 2 red inside, and then um, inside of that are 2 reds, and then inside the 2 reds are the 4 blues. And they just freaking multiply. It's crazy. It's so chaotic, just like you said. Okay, let's get this. So okay, oops. So I'm just adding some farms here. Okay, so I'm gonna be poor for like 2 rounds, and then let me speed it up, and then after that, I should be good to buy a new upgrade. Okay, this, jeez. Oh my gosh, dude. I need this one so bad. No, I'm about to lose. Come on, man. No, dude. 84? That's so early. It's a different pattern. What should I do? I can't plan because I'm already gone. I already lost. I don't have any money to upgrade anything right off the bat. Um, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, 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 dude, we didn't lose. We didn't lose. We didn't lose. Okay, 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 okay. Hold on. Shoot, 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 shoot. Sell this guy just because I need the extra cash right now. Right now. And then blow this guy up. Dude, 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 dude. Come on, 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 come on. We did it. Dude, we did it. It was close. I don't know how close you saw that, but there were like those like those black blimps. Those ones have, well, camo doesn't really matter because of this guy. All my towers have camo detection, but they move really fast. They have like extra damage, and they do. Um, if they make it in, they instantly end the game if they don't pop. Um, yeah, dude, I think this one really saved it actually. So glad I put that one there. Okay, and then let's just put another tower. All right, there's not so much we can do for this last part of the game, um, but kind of making sure that things are going smoothly. They're all popping. They're all popping here. It's good. The last 10 rounds, and then I'll try not to slow down, dude. Yeah, it's those black ones. I don't know if you can see. My towers are just making light work out of it. It's because I upgraded this one. This one's so good. So what I upgraded it to is that it automatically triggers a powerful missile strike whenever a Moab class balloon, or Moab is the blimps, spawns from the entrance. So when they spawn, it just automatically does a huge amount of damage right from the get go. Dude, this is so chaotic. I love this game so much. Okay. Yeah, this guy's at full level. He just leveled up to level 20. And yeah, anyway, it's light work. He's doing great. Now I could either. No, I want this one. Okay. Yeah. Now they're barely making it out of the entrance. All of them. Even the black ones I was worried about earlier. Yeah, and then this guy's just cleaning up a little bit. Easy, 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 easy. Okay. Is this fun? Are you having fun, Noxin? Nelson? I hope you are. I'm having fun. Thank you for interacting with me. Interacting with me. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Anyone on Instagram? Hey, nope. That's okay. We're just gonna get bigger and bigger and better. People are gonna realize this is a place to be. And we're at around 97 now. I'm gonna have another one. Mm. Oh, we're at 30K. 90 more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And then this guy's at 22. Easy. I'm selling all my, because we're only doing around 100, so I don't need these banks anymore. Or, yeah, these money producers. And I'm just going to upgrade to this guy. Yeah, there you go. And then we're good. It's going to be around 100 is a purple blimp that has a lot going on inside. It's really slow. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy here. Maybe if I can queue up a round 100. Let's go. You see that purple balloon? Done. Oh, that's really big. That's actually so much more than I was expecting. Let me okay. Yeah. Oh, I am lagging now. So when it gets like this hectic, uh we did it. All right, I can lose. I can lose in peace. But part of me wants to keep going. We'll just let it run until. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like speed runs and things like that. So it's like a lot of this kind of stuff is really well, not this. You can't really speed run Balloon Tower Defense, but I guess you can. You just the person who just does it the fastest, like meaning they just don't lose a single time, would make it. Um, yeah, 105. Oh, can you hear me now? Thank you. Thank you. Hmm. It might just be the connection with my mic and the computer. Okay, we're done. All right. Well, good. I'm glad you can hear me. So let's do some let's watch some videos and talk about it. Yeah. Like I'm afraid how far should how controversial. We shouldn't go too controversial, but I want to be a place where we can talk about things openly and we can talk about things honestly, and we can kind of like dig deeper into things. Um, so what should we do? Let's see. All right, high schoolers. High school. I feel that high school, like censoring things for high schoolers is like such a, I wouldn't say negative thing, or yeah, is certain things we should censor, but like at the same time, if we like kind of create a place we can't talk about something, it's not good. Oh, this goes back to courage topic, creating better days for myself. But like, how do you think I could increase the amount of fulfilling days I have? Because I feel like after having a fulfilling, okay, wait, are you limited to how many characters you can put in? Like, how many? Okay, every time I play with my mic, it seems like it disconnects. Okay. All right. Yeah. So going back to the courage topic, creating better days for yourself. I feel like, how do you think I can increase the amount of fulfilling days? Good, you can hear. Yo yo yo. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for talking. Yeah. That. How can you? Yeah. Well, I think I need to hear more. Like, what are you struggling with exactly? Or not? Okay, I get like you want to increase the amount of fulfilling days that you have, um, and like after having an unfulfilling day, it's like yeah, you try to shake it off, but kind of it can be easier to fall into a cycle of like having unfulfilling days or like kind of, is that, am I catching that right? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is something that we can talk about like more personal, but I think like in a broad sense, without understanding your situation entirely. What I think we can, what I can say, like as like an older brother who wants to help you, I yeah, I think getting yourself to pick, yeah, getting yourself to like stand back up and shake it off. Um, I think actually, what would be really important is not quite just shake it off, but actually just get really curious. It's something I say a lot about a lot of different things in terms, but with respect to internal growth and personal development, rather than just shaking off, like, okay, that was a bad day, but today's just gonna be better. Um, but without understanding really clearly what made the day hard or what made the day unfulfilling, um, uh, what made the day hard, without understanding that, kind of, it's really easy to just have a bad day again. Um, and like we're allowed to have bad days. There's things that happen, like most of our life, things that happen to us are out of our control. And it's things we respond to. How we respond is what is in our control, right? Um, and that can be like with other people, that can be circumstances, that can just be like even our own attitude and like mood, right? Just how we respond to waking up on the wrong side of the bed. And yeah, some people are really strong and able to just kind of like, okay, whatever. Or even in like cases where you had a pretty decent day, but then something kind of upsetting happened, or something just didn't go your way, or right, that upsetting thing kind of dragged you into the opposite line of having a bad day. Like if more good things happen, True Father said, like if more good things happen in a day than bad things happen, then bad things, like you would find yourself on the line of having a good day. But then if you find more bad things happening, and then like compared to the number of good things happening, you'll find yourself having a bad day. But actually, like the attitude that we have is really important, and that's like a speech that he had, and we read a lot for 100K, especially in GPA. We read that a lot. Can't quite remember it though, but what I'm trying to say is giving the space for yourself to actually understand what made the day hard or unfulfilling. And if you can kind of, yeah, I don't want to, I was going to say kind of like quantify, but not quite. Just reflect on the things that are happening that kind of led to an unfulfilling day. Like, how did you respond to these situations? Like, a lot of times the unfulfilling days that we have are usually the days when we choose to run away. And it's like a lot of times when we say choose, I say choose, but a lot of times it's like very subconsciously we choose, subconsciously it's just out of habit or out of fear, out of just like a knee-jerk response. We choose this, right? We choose, but it's, in those circumstances, it's pretty much a knee-jerk response, and it doesn't feel like a choice a lot of the time. But I love the idea that like you do have a choice, not to give you crap that you chose this, but it's more like you actually have so much power, more power than you give yourself credit for. And like, yeah, like to empower is the to empower is like the intention that I have to say to yeah, when I say like, yeah, choosing, it's because we have a lot of power to control our day, and the things we choose to do, whether if it's subconsciously or consciously, it's a lot of time it's subconscious and we don't realize it. Like little choices we make that lead us to feel more isolated or worse, or I don't know, just unfulfilled. Like having you said this earlier, right, in the chat, like having a decent day and then finding yourself on Instagram or doom scrolling late at night and then not sleeping early and then just kind of regretting it, right? And it's like, come on, like, well, what was that? But rather than just saying like that sucked, let's just do better next time, I think it would actually be really beneficial to take a look at yourself, not as like, not in the critical way of like, why am I doing this? This, like, I suck for doing this. This just is worse. I suck. Okay, that's like the self-talk that I like engaged in a lot. So yeah, to be aware of the self-talk that you have, like when that stuff happens, first of all, like who do you blame? A lot of people, or it's like two camps people generally fall into. It's like you either blame other people for your bad day, or you blame yourself for a bad day. And the thing is, like, blaming doesn't really get you, like, who holds responsibility for your bad day? Uh, there's a lot of things at play. You know, some people have a bad day, and like you honestly, like if you try to blame someone or something or like circumstance, it can be traced to the ends of history, right? But what I'm trying to say, sorry, so many tangents, but what I'm trying to say is that when you can take a second to reflect on yourself and think, hmm, like what made today like feel like how am I feeling about today right now? And it's unfulfilled, or like I regret looking at Instagram for a while. Why is it that like looking at Instagram is so, and like being really curious? Okay, so like for example, asking yourself, why is Instagram so like attractive to me during these times? But I regret it. What is it to me? What am I trying to do through Instagram? And what is it like that I'm trying to look for, but I'm not getting? You know, and then people answer, and you can answer that question. And a lot of times it's community, a lot of times it's connection. There's a lot of the physiological aspects of dopamine, right? And Instagram is, and yeah, but a lot of things, right, happen late at night, like PMO. And um, PMO is porn, masturbation, orgasm. So anyway, just I said something about like censoring earlier, and I just like, yeah, we are honest talk. There's no shame. So I have to work on that too. I'm just like, oh, how's YouTube gonna do? How's YouTube or Instagram gonna take me saying the P word? But honestly speaking, so right, a lot of those things that we do late at night, we're looking for something, whether it's porn or Instagram doom scrolling, or I don't know, yeah, something like that. It's not that that made our day unfulfilling. Is that maybe perchance there's, oh, okay, good. Maybe I'm just cutting it in and out here. Let me test something. Tell me how it is. So I'm going to change this. So now it's this mic, but I'm not sure how can you hear me? Is it good? This would be good to know for future streams too. Is it better if I hold it? Am I loud if I hold it really close? Let me know. Yeah. Okay. How does it sound? Does it sound good? Let me let go. How does this sound? 1 to 10. 10 is like amazing. 1 is like not really. You can't really hear me. But it's better if I hear it like that. If I talk like this. Is it better if I talk like this? Okay, it sounds good. Which way's better? Like this or like that? Sorry, not. Oh, sorry. The not really was still the question of are you loud? Oh, okay, okay. Okay, but this sounds good. Okay. All right. No, yeah, it's. I'm lagging, or not lagging, but the what's it called? What's it called? What's the word? The latency. Anyway, there's a gap between when I'm talking and the video is on. But I see your messages instantly. So anyway, it's just, yeah. I see your message instantly, and then it takes a second for me to when my camera goes into the network, it's just slow. But I think that's typical for most streams. There's nothing we can really do about it because it has to upload and take time to do that. Okay, what was I saying? What was I saying? Okay, so get back on track. Having like feeling like an unfulfilling day after you go to Instagram or after someone slips up and watches porn and regrets it and like feels like, oh gosh, this sucks and this is not the life that I want to live. That can be actually a sign that's actually maybe that isn't quite what is making you unfulfilled. Maybe there's a chance that you feel unfulfilled like beforehand and you're looking for something through those bad habits um, or addictions. I'm pretty, just to say, like I'm pretty strong on the idea of like actually like sexual like porn addiction is porn addiction. It's not a bad habit, um, especially if most people like try to quit and they realize they can't quit. So just I think to give it the image that it kind of how I think it deserves. It's an addiction, and like we really need a lot of healing to overcome it. It's not just a habit we can overcome. It takes a lot of healing to feel like you can overcome and get past porn addiction. Anyway, the yeah, if you disagree, let me know, and then maybe you can change my mind. I tend to think I'm an open-minded guy, but engaging in those bad habits, because like they have a certain promise to them, right? Of like dopamine or feeling better, and then they don't because they can't fulfill those promises. Um, Feeling like unfulfilled beforehand. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if there's like anything that can help you like really have a fulfilling day, or to once you experience an unfulfilling day, to like get back on track, and to get back into like a streak or back into the lifestyle of having fulfilling days, it just takes a lot of consistency and really good looking at yourself, like really good self-reflection. Um, to not blame yourself for the things that are like are happening, not to blame other people necessarily for the things that are happening. Uh, yeah, blaming isn't quite the same as taking responsibility. Um, in the sense that like blaming kind of pushes it somewhere, while responsibility is something you can own up to and change like for the future. Like blaming is like something that is just so focused in the past, but responsibility is present and in the future, and you can't change anything in the past. Like that just happened. So blaming is so pointless. It's so meaningless, and it's so negative. It's such a negative energy to blame. So giving that perspective, I think like taking responsibility, whether regardless if it was your fault or not, taking responsibility by being like self-reflective, um, in the sense that like just being really curious about the things you need and the things you're looking for. So if there's something you need and you're really wanting to find connection, like just for example, like find connection, and at the end of the day, you felt like it wasn't a great day or you couldn't accomplish, maybe it's because you don't know what you really wanted to accomplish. Maybe you did a lot, and maybe compared to other people, like actually what you did was really like fulfilling. But a lot of times unclarity can also lead to um, unfulfilledness. Like even if you did a lot, I know there's those days where like, man, today was so busy and I still feel empty. Like, geez, I really did a lot and I don't really feel like I really want to do it again. But that made me really hard to face that and to have the courage to face it. Going full circle to like I think that's the main. I think in my experience, it's always been the main like kind of pivotal moment where I experience change is when I can have the courage to face like the hard thing. Like, yeah, Like, what am I missing? Oh yeah, earlier I was talking about like not having a clear plan or a clear goal or a vision for your life. Like the actions that you do, they don't feel like they amount to anything. They might be good in some aspects. They might be really amazing, but in a lot of cases, people aren't not so clear with what they want, what they need, and so like their lifestyle is just kind of like just do whatever, just kind of go with the flow, kind of haphazard living of just like trying to get excited, and then at the end of the day, like they don't know what it amounted to. Um, yeah, I wanted to post a video about this, but maybe this can be a bit. I tried editing the video of like an old live stream, like one of the live streams I did this week, and it didn't sound so good. So I think we're gonna do a separate video. But one of my okay, well, so I started like studying divine principle because of GPA. Like just kind of, I never really looked at it in high school. I don't know how it's nowadays. Nelson, if you've opened up a DP, but even then, it's like it's just like it took a lot of guidance. Like I couldn't just read it on my own and be like, yeah, wow, this is so amazing. But it took a lot of guidance, and I think like that's with a lot of 100K books, it does take a lot of guidance and just kind of to expect, um, like wow, an all moment. It's not really realistic if you just read it by yourself. But one of my favorite chapters of Divine Principle is chapter 2, the fall. And why is it my favorite chapter? It's because it has my favorite section in it. So yeah, the fall is good and all, or not good, but like the lessons we can learn from it are good and all. But my favorite section of the Divine Principle is probably chapter 2, section 5, and it talks about human freedom in the fall. So some people argue like, or a big question is when human beings fell, like freedom and God's control. Like if God knew what would happen in the Garden of Eden, like why did He let it happen? And then a lot of the answers are pretty unsatisfactory if you're talking about like a typical Christian perspective. At least the ones that I've heard. Maybe there's actually a much better explanation, but from what I've heard, it's just like because God wanted to send Jesus. Because God was so intent on sending Jesus, that's why he not made human beings, but like He let human beings fall because He already knew it was going to happen. Because the whole plan was just to send Jesus, anyways. But yeah, at least from the divine principle perspective, right? God's original intention for creating the Garden of Eden, what was the original intention of the relationship between Adam and Eve, the original intention, right, to create this amazing world that God can dwell, where human beings can dwell and live and grow in their love and take responsibility for the growth and fight and make up and learn to grow and to learn and to love each other better, right? I think that's that's the ideal. Jesus was not part of the plan from the beginning, but He became very necessary when the fall happened, for sure. So it's not like, I don't know. Typical Christians say like we discount Jesus as like value. That's not the case. Like God, Jesus was detrimental. Anyway, point is freedom in the fall. Okay, so the freedom in the fall, it starts with talking about what is true freedom. And anyway, I've been working on like a script for the video, but basically the idea of freedom. So anyway, this is kind of already in my head, is what I mean by like I've been working on this script, so it's already in my head. The difference between like true freedom and fake freedom. Okay, so fake freedom, or like the freedom that like kind of we have the idea, it's usually centered around the idea of like I can just do whatever I want, and when I do whatever I want, I'm truly free. Take me out of this situation, I'm free, because like I want to do whatever I want, and so that's when I'm free. Like I just I can freely decide what I want to do, and that makes me free. And that is like that is an immature and incomplete way of seeing freedom. And so I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it is incomplete. And true parents' explanation and the revelation by the divine principle kind of went through editing the principle, right? The exposition of the divine principle. So I just want to give some context of what I just said, like the editing. It's just true father, true parents, true mother, they knew the principle. They knew God's principle, and then they did their best to educate it and receive it. And the editor had a very clear idea of the exposition of divine principles, like the summary of the divine principle. Exposition means like the summary, the culmination of the ideas, kind of like summarized. Basically, the intention of writing and publishing the exposition of the divine principle is to witness to Christians, right? So, like, from that perspective, some of the things that actually true parents really wanted to value kind of got kind of like shifted a little bit. And it was shifted, and then it's not quite like the essence of what true parents wanted to teach. So, like, taking this with a grain of salt, like the things that they're teaching at Chungpyang now, and like with True Mother and all that, like the providence but it's all still applicable. Like there's no like difference in changes. Like the emphasis on certain aspects, I think, are different. But regardless, so that's the context I wanted to share. But the point is knowing that like the incomplete essence of freedom, of being like I can just do whatever I want. It's not quite wrong, but it's very immature. It's not complete. And so what parents what the divine exposition of divine principle explains is that freedom comes with three actually very important points. Points. So first point is that there is no freedom without principle. Now that is actually kind of a big idea, right? Like there's no freedom without principles. So principles, rules, or like values, or some kind of like teachings, or some kind of like structure, principles, right? Rules. It's like there can be no freedom without rules. Like that's a pretty contradictory statement on the surface level. But the explanation behind that is, if you were to just play a basketball game with no rules, nothing, okay, no out of bounds, no basket, like there's just no rules, what would it be? It wouldn't be basketball. You would just kind of, it would be very confusing. If you don't know the rules to the game, there is no game, right? If there's no established boundaries, no rules, no fouls, or no safety guidelines, there's no game, right? And so the idea behind like the first point is that when there's no freedom if there's no principle. It's that God made a very clear set of principles to allow us to structure our lives and to structure our love so that we can experience true love. Just like how we can, if through the boundaries and through the rules of basketball, we can experience true basketball in that sense. Okay, so basically, like principles make freedom possible. Okay, so it's just like how a fish could dream of like being free on land, but once it actually goes on land, it can't do anything. It's not free. And like in the ocean is where a fish can be truly free. Okay, the vast ocean, right? So that's point number one, is that there's no freedom without principle. Number two is that there's no freedom without responsibility. Okay, so just like how we have, let me backtrack a little bit. So all of our actions have consequences. 100% of the time, our actions will have some kind of result that happens to them, right? Whether you think about like in the vast structure of like the butterfly effect, like in time travel, it can go into like a lot of different like timelines, and it's like because of one event. Yeah, kind of in that sense, but also in just the immediate aspects, right? Like the decisions that we make affect people, affect our environment, affect ourselves in very impactfully, right? Make an impact. And so in that sense, also understanding like the portion of responsibility of human beings if there is no responsibility, like we can't experience true freedom, because when we have that responsibility, we can, like, I guess, play the rules of the game. Okay, basically it's just like following the rules of the game, right? Okay, so in the basketball analogy, yeah, I think there's no better way to say that. In the rules of the game, like there's rules, principles. Then there's actually following those rules, and then there's also the aspect where, what makes a good basketball player different from a great basketball player, a legendary basketball player. What makes Michael Jordan so much better than all the other players? What makes LeBron James better than most of the other players? There's Steph Curry. He's an amazing player. What makes him so much better, right? It's their dedication to the game outside of the game as well. And they're taking responsibility to become better players. And they're just, in that sense, and when we take responsibility to become more loving people, to play the rules of the game better, then they can, like, those great basketball players can live up to the full potential of being amazing, and then they experience more freedom through that experience, through taking responsibility, right, outside of the game, becoming better players. Lastly, so number 3 is there's no freedom without accomplishment. And so the whole point of everything here is that you experience accomplishment. You experience a fulfilling, like, reward at the end of taking responsibility and following the rules there, and having, like, that sense of accomplishment, right? If it amounted to nothing, then there's no point. Like, the freedom that we would feel is, like, kind of empty, right? And so that's, like, I think where the general idea of freedom is lacking, right? It's because, like, I can be free, I can do whatever I want, but the result of that, if there's no principles, no responsibility taken, is just empty. There's nothing that you can gain from being free if there's no accomplishment there. So yeah, I think you can tell how excited, like, I am about, like, this topic in general. But taking those, like, points in our lives, and then maybe, like, kind of steering them toward, this topic of courage and change. Yeah, like, making it making these principles apply in our own life is, like, to experience freedom, and, like, as knowing the principles of life, right? Like, how we want to choose to love ourselves, to love people, to grow and to become better human beings, to become a better brother, or, better sister, who's watching this, better father, better mother, a better son, better daughter, a better, and, like, what does it mean to be better? What does it mean to follow these principles? And that is something that I think I need to think a little bit more about. I don't have all the answers right now, and I'm still growing, but the aspect of, like, these aspects of principle and love and leadership, taking responsibility, and then, like, having good fruit, like a good result, right, at the end of it, like, that's what makes it meaningful. Yeah. How does that sound? How's that sound? You good? Oh, I'm sure there's a delay. There it is. Yeah. Because of the delay. Sorry about that. Yeah, meaningful. You took notes. Wow, appreciate it. Yeah, I hope it could mean something. But yeah, in terms of your like specific situation, like the specific application of these principles is actually something that I'm not quite clear about. Like it's actually really like, oh, it's so inspiring to talk about, and it moves me a lot. But when I think about these principles in my own life, it's like no freedom without principle, and you have to really understand. You have to, I think, be really in tune with God's principle and like the purpose of creation, right? And why why we claim true parents are here, and what they're doing here, and what it means, what they're trying to restore. It takes some kind of awareness of that, and then to take responsibility for like our own life. What kind, like, I think taking responsibilities, mother's way of saying is like pure water, like becoming pure water. But geez, so many like analogies. Pure water. Needle, become the needle in the sandstorm that mother was looking for, right? Like, yeah. Maybe I need to pray more and understand exactly what that means. For me, maybe it's different for everybody. That's why it has to be an analogy. Yeah, your calling. But in terms of like living a fulfilling life, dude, people, you, Nelson, and you, everybody, is, yeah, like being able to follow up on your call, like what you really need. I think restoration, there's a bug. Restoration is the focus of restoration is to heal from the history. Yeah, I mean, there's so much healing needs to happen, right? First, when a wound happens, first you heal it, and then then you can use your arm again, right? If you to put it back to its original position. And I think like the lifespan of this church is actually still so short, and the things that are happening are actually pretty incredible, like in terms of like just things happening. But yeah, like just the confusion and the kind of the tides against us, it feels really real. I don't know, maybe that's just kind of the media I'm surrounding myself with recently, but yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of baloney to think. Dude, absolutely. Okay, yeah. It's a lot of baloney to think that like Providence can just heal immediately. Like really, generations of healing. Like it started for sure, but I think about how many blessed families are struggling, and they're struggling alone, and how many second gen are struggling, and they're struggling alone. It's just so sad. Gosh, because they're struggling alone in communities that they feel like they're struggling more. So yeah, as a movement, I think we could have done so much better, and I think we're finally like the leadership that's taking hold, and there's so many leaders that I'm respecting now, and like High Noon, right? Like the leaders of High Noon are really taking a stand to fuel that healing that needs to happen on personal scale. Yeah, I think it goes back to like my dad a lot too. I've said it in multiple podcasts, and I don't know how much like High Noon content you've watched, but I've talked about my dad in the past. Actually, it's funny. I talked about him multiple times in different podcasts, but basically, the anecdote is my dad was abused as a kid, and he was beat because he was like after every little mistake, he was beat a lot, and then so he just made that commitment that if he ever had a family in the future, he would never hit that. And then he met your parents. And then like before that point, before he met your parents, and before he was, yeah, he didn't really want a family because he's just like, I don't really think he wants a family. And that was this kind of experience he had as a kid, and he decided he didn't want a family. So when he met your parents, and then he got blessed with my mom, and they started having a family. Like it wasn't very clear. I know he didn't want to be like his dad, and then one time he had to spank he had to, or anyway, basically my brother did something bad, and my dad spanked him. And then when my dad spanked him, while he was spanking him, he told me like he was sobbing his eyes out, and he's like he couldn't bear that. Like, and then so after that like spanking, it was like a one or two hit spank. It was like I'm never doing that again. That was I'm like he vowed to God and to parents and to his wife and to us, to his kids, that he's never doing that again. And it's just like that right there is a change of lineage, a change of history. And actually, there's one edit that I saw I discovered recently of that podcast. That it just kind of summed it up really, really clearly. Like generational healing comes after generational pain. It's so real. So like when we experience healing in our own life, we can become better people. And then so you're from DMV, so from Maryland, right? Yeah, but I don't know, for anyone who's watching the 2-hour live stream or 1.5 hours if you skip the intro, the timer. Yeah, but there's a pastor in California, Reverend Kevin Thompson. He told a story about how like he was fishing with your father, and then crazy. It's a crazy story. He has so many close stories with him. I really hope like people can listen to these stories. But he was fishing with your father, and your father, he's sitting on his, they have all their lines out, and they're just kind of waiting for some fish. And then your father is like, hey, Kevin, come here. Come here. And then he looks at Kevin's, or Reverend Thompson, and he says, do you want to know the secret to building the kingdom of heaven? Just so casually, right? And then, Reverend Thompson's like, yeah, like, gee, this is the opportunity of a lifetime to hear a secret from the second coming of the Messiah. And then Father's like, the secret is to love your wife and to be a good daddy. So since like, I think he says that his initial reaction was, what? That's it? That's it? That's the only thing you have to say about building the secret of the kingdom of heaven? But then he like kind of reflected on it later. It's like, it really is like the idea of the blessing. The ideal of the blessing is to love your wife and to be a good dad. And that goes for women too, to love your husband and to be a good mom. It's so simple, right? And some like people are trying so hard, but it often gets lost in a lot of like personal pain and time that they don't. So like right now, dude, when I'm thinking about like providential changes and like how providence is like really moving, think about how much truth is coming out about like people, like therapy being normalized, right? Digging into deep childhood traumas and figuring out this is something I need to work on. This is something I need to heal to become a better parent, right? There's so much parenting advice now that's actually really good, really healthy. So it's not just the blessed couples, really, it's everybody in the world. But honestly, I think at certain families, blessed couples are not. They have a lot of like really deep issues they need to have courage to face. And I think that's one of the main things High Noon is like trying to really be a part of, right? To be part of that healing and to encourage that healing to happen sooner rather than later. And even if it's later, to start it as soon as possible. So that's like high school, demographics wise, to find healing as a high school student, like there's so many things I wish I was educated on, like just in hindsight when I was in high school, but that was just hindsight. Always hindsight's 2020. But when I was doing GP, I'm like, gosh, I wish I knew this in high school. I wish I had the courage to look at this in high school, to figure this out. But, it's never too late. But at the same time, like earlier is maybe it might be a little bit better. Yeah. So that's what I have to say about that. Jeez, it's 2 a.m. here in Japan, and I feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Should I do an all-nighter? Yeah, man. It's 2 a.m. Gosh, I wish chat was instantaneous, or not chat. Chat's instantaneous. Freaking streaming is instantaneous, but I guess that's just not possible unless we're in a Zoom call. But then we're talking. Live talking. Okay. Feeling pretty good. My wife is supporting me in the other room, but she's knocked out. Little W wife, Aju. She's not sleeping in the bed. She's sleeping. Japan has like tatami, right? It's the It's not bamboo. It's a special grass. It's like a kind of a from grass. Anyway, like the tatami rooms. I'm gonna pick up my camera and show you. Like this tatami room, right? You can see. Oh, dude. Actually, I just realized that this snack that I'm eating, this vanilla snack, tastes like freaking honey, like vanilla honey. Oh yeah, but I just meant to say that in that room, in that tatami room, she's sleeping there. We have a yogi bowl. It's like a bean bag, like a slightly fancy bean bag, because we don't have a couch yet, because we couldn't afford it. But we want to get a nice one that lasts. Hey, we have some more people in the chat, or more viewers. Yeah. Nelson, are you ready to have a fulfilling day? Yeah, dude, I think. Okay, hold on. I just want to add a little bit. For anyone who's watching, it's like having a goal, like a North Star goal. It can be anything. Like it can be, like self-healing related, but it can also be like self-developing related. Yeah, of course. Let's see, but I wanted to add like like Hainun's concept of goal setting had confused me for so long. Actually, even now, it's like something that I want to explain, and then I explain it, and then I'm overthinking, and then I actually get confused again. So like in the Hainun's like North Star goal system. So actually, North Star goal isn't something Hainun created. It's pretty wide, like widely spread idea about like a goal setting. So yeah, kind of setting your sights on something, and then just like going for it, right? And maybe I've just been brainwashed by GPA or something. Like the idea of like North Star goal is an internal goal. It's like I always kind of frame it that way, and I think that's what always led to some confusion. But it's not quite just an internal goal. It's not just like a mental goal or like a character development goal. But it's also, it can be anything. Like I know that Hainun wanted to like really like the idea of North Star goal because the 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 implications of it are just so wide and they are so broad. And like, the people that Hainun take care of are just, they range from, you know, they range from here to Mars, in terms of like, different circumstances and situations. So giving that context, like a North Star goal is actually it's supposed to be a little vague, but it's like something you want. And then the way Benji kind of frames a North Star goal is just like something you want more than porn, or more than your bad habits, or more than something you really want and you love to do it. Like so, for example, one of the Benji's examples he used, like when explaining it to me, was he had a brother who he was taking care of, and basically this brother made it his commitment because he really wanted to jump higher for basketball. He wanted to dunk, so like that became his obsession. So like basically, essentially, what ended up happening. This is not Benji's words, but I feel like what ended up happening is that this brother basically jumping higher is so good, right? But basically, this brother essentially just procrastinated his bad habits, because what became his actual priority and what became his fulfillment was jumping higher. Like that's just, now it's his North Star goal, and then it's as simple as that. I want to jump higher. And so the things that he does in his daily life, basically like training and the things, and eating a better diet, maybe losing weight, I don't know, or gaining weight for muscle, but basically like growing that desire so much so to the point where that's his obsession. And then he just procrastinated his bad habits. His bad habits just weren't so interesting anymore. I'm scrolling through Instagram. No, dude, I would rather be jumping right now. And then like it's just not a problem. Oh, I'm tempted by porn. I'm really horny right now. But you know what I'd rather do right now? I'd rather jump. I'd rather go and dunk a basketball. Like I'd rather do that. And then it's just like, anyway, that's just one brother's testimony, but I feel like that's essentially what happened. And yeah, it's like it's important. And then I'm sure his days felt much better too. The idea, like, I say that a lot. I'm gonna watch this recording because I'm gonna try to edit it, but like I say that a lot. The idea of, I do say that a lot. It's kind of weird. I'll catch myself. I love live. I'm loving this idea of live streaming because I'm just talking out loud and responding to chat, responding to you guys, and learning how to be a better speaker. Yeah. Dang. Yeah. So find what you're passionate about. What would you rather do than, I feel like I saw this YouTube video kind of a while back. It's like this guy just kind of had like realized all his time that he spent like on his phone, he could just be sleeping. And he's like, I love sleeping. Play volleyball. Yeah, man. I think like the initial work of finding a team to play with like all the time, or like having that like having some kind of urge, some kind of like man, I really want to play volleyball. Like being able to fulfill it, or like have people hold you accountable, or like kind of have integrity to like, hey, we're gonna play volleyball. You want to come? It's like, yeah, I'd rather play volleyball than sit in this house or do homework. It's like knowing what your priorities are, right? And what your desires are and fulfilling them. Brian! Whoa, what time is it in Europe? Mr. Lindstrom, join the party. 6:07 p.m. Nice. Oh, that's right. Okay, I 6-7 6-7 6-7 p.m. 6-7. That's right. I streamed this at a time. Today's Saturday, so I wanted to stream for both UK and America. So, yeah, good. Yeah, man. Brian, we were just talking about having fulfilling days and how to make a more fulfilling life. And then I went into this deep, amazing talk about freedom. I connected that somehow to finding the courage to change. I'm also eating these Japanese snacks. Check it out. This is vanilla flavored. I don't know if this is pretty famous. There's like these ones, the mushrooms, and then the bamboo shoot shape. Yeah, this week I'll make it a goal to edit the video. Yeah, dude, these it tastes like honey. Now that I'm thinking about it, it tastes like vanilla honey. I said that earlier, but I just wanted to make it. It's so addicting. It's bad. But yeah, I wanted to edit this stream, make it so that it's short and then easier to watch. Ooh. But we were just talking about change. We're talking about finding the courage to change and talking about North Star goals, and yeah, it's been a good talk. We played some Balloons Tower Defense. We should do some goal setting. I think a goal setting activity for High Noon High School. Nelson, what do you think? Brian, goal setting, kind of like a special gathering session. North Star goal to eat mushroom snacks. My North Star goal is to finish these mushroom snacks. Finish them well. Yeah, I think we should do that. I think that would be a really good. Yeah. I have to think about how we do that, but we should do that this week. Something I want to make the the Discord lively. The Discord is something that goal setting. Let's do it. Absolutely. All right. I'll put it in my notes. We'll do it 100%. Let's do it. High noon. High noon. Good. Not a pencil. I want a marker. So yeah, I'll probably have to plan it out and have the activity. I think make it really meaningful. So let's do that. Good. It's in goal setting activity. I'll do some brainstorming. At this hour? Jeez. These guys. What's up with people getting hurt at 2 a.m.? Probably something like a old person. Did you? I don't know if you guys heard the ambulance. That's what I'm talking about. Probably. Yeah, 2 a.m. So it's like. Brian, you got anything you want to talk about? See. So the topic is courage to change. But honestly, if there's anything on you, on your heart, on your mind, on your body, hopefully there's just clothes on your body. I don't know. It's late. Maybe I'm just tired. Yeah. No, he's not. He's my probably my cousin, honestly, and some fourth removed cousin. No, we just happen to have the same last name. Brian, your dad is Swedish. No, you're yeah, and then your mom is sisters with David Hewish's mom. I feel like you need to be more, get out and be more active. Yep, your dad. Dude, wait, Brian? Do you think you can ask? Well, I don't know. I actually don't know my lineage too well, but I know my brother. What am I saying? My dad was born in America. His parents, so my grandparents, I think my grandfather was born in Sweden, but he left kind of early and came to America. But Lindstrom's a pretty common last name, isn't it? Do you know? I'm kind of basing that off of your grandma's from San Francisco. Actually, wait, hold on. Wait. I think there actually might be a connection. Because I know my dad talked about how, like, going to California in Sweden is very common. Yeah. Okay. But wait, like, that's actually, hold on. I know that there was a story that my dad had that he visited family, like a big family in California. I can't remember if it was San Francisco or not. Dude, wait, that's kind of crazy. Wait. But yeah, it's very common. Oh my days, plot twist, dude. The world is small. I said that's so loud. I said that's so loud. I have neighbors at 2 a.m. Anyway, yeah, the world is so small. It's so small. Like, did you guys know? Okay, there's a study done, and basically you can connect. So there's this thing called degrees of separation. So it's like, someone someone you know who knows someone who knows someone. And then, like, how many people you have to get through to know somebody. It's called degrees of separation. And they did a study, and they basically connected. Is what they basically discovered was that you can connect to anybody in this world through 7 degree, like the maximum degrees of separation is 7 degrees of separation. I'll give you an example. So um okay, for example, Nelson, you are actually probably, let's see, you like Mark Rober? Are you a fan of Mark Rober? Yeah, like 7 people in between you and somebody else. Like, I know someone who knows 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 Elon Musk, kind of thing. So you know Mark Rober, right? So just an example. You're probably like two. No, you're three, one, two. You're 3 degrees of separation between you and Mark Rober. I can prove it to you because I'm 2 degrees separation from Mark Rober, or one. So because you know me, I know somebody who knows Mark Rober, or who has a connection to Mark Rober, like that kind of thing. Because I'm friends with a pretty famous YouTuber. Well, he's actually in our church, but I don't know how comfortable he is making that like a huge thing. You don't know who Mark Rober is? Wait, what? Okay, well, that might be a good thing. Anyway, he's a pretty famous YouTuber. That's all. I don't know. And because of that, because of Mark, do you know who Mr. Beast is? You're just 1 degree separation plus from Mr. Beast. Yeah, who doesn't know Mr. Beast, right? So yeah, dude, just so yeah, from you to Mr. Beast, three or 4 degrees of separation. So it's you to me because you know me, right? You have my direct contact info, and then I know somebody who's a famous YouTuber, and because that YouTuber actually knows Mark Rober, Mark Rober is pretty close to Mr. Beast. Boom! Isn't that crazy? Okay, that's just something. Yeah, so that's like the world is so small. It's so small. So honestly, like if Brian and I are like actually more closely related than we think, I mean it'd be surprising. I would be like flabbergasted, but it would be really cool. But um, I'd be like, yeah, that just reaffirms how much I believe the world is just so small. But Brian, yeah, definitely getting okay. I wanted to kind of address what you were saying that like another thing I want to do is play more basketball. Yeah, man. Like getting clear. Okay, so this was what we were talking about earlier with um, like being passionate. Like you know, what's holding you back from playing more basketball? Really, like if that's something you really want to do, what's holding you back? But anyway, that's just kind of yeah, 6'2", 13 years old. See, that's just like, dude, yeah, basketball. Are you interested in volleyball? Sorry, I don't mean to give you ASMR. So I feel like you'll love it. Volleyball is really huge in like America, though. I don't know how like the American church. I mean, I don't know how big volleyball is in Europe, Britain, the Great Britain, the land of the British. Gosh, I want to be good at a British accent. I can't do it. If you like anime, Brian, Haikyuu is what made is what made volleyball popular in America. It's actually probably the most influential anime of all time. Okay, that's a big statement, but yeah, what's I mean, if you want to play more basketball, what's holding you back? Practice your hoops. Like, is it homework? Parents hate this one trick. the the reason I said it is because I was talking to Benji about North Star goals, and dude, there's this fly that's really freaking annoying. Come on, whatever. So the Benji said, like, if you're really passionate about something, and school's getting in the way, just like don't try as hard. Just let go of it. So like that was something he really struggled with himself. He struggled with like really wanting good grades, really good grades in college, and then it was like he was just so stressed out, so worried, so anxious, and just not having a good time. Did you see that bug? Anyway, basically, yeah, and he was more passionate about being a pastor, being a good speaker, being like involved with the church. And so what he did was like, bro, screw getting A's. C's get degrees too. He stopped trying in school. And he just kind of did mid in school, and then he really excelled at speaking and doing what he loved to do. And look at him now. He's a pretty cool guy. So anyway, like being the best in your field, like if anyway, that's Benji's story. I don't, I would suggest you do, you try your best in school, but if it's like really holding you back, like, dude, I mean, I'm not being as old as I am, right? I'm just like I've been a few years since I'm out of school. Like, I'm just learning that getting like an amazing grade in school is so meaningless. Like, I wish I did more clubs. I wish I got like better like sociability. Actually, no, I wasn't really bad in high school. I wasn't so bad. I had a few good friends, like a few really good friends, and they really saved my experience in high school. Yeah, more clubs. Like, actually, and I know Nelson, you were running for student body, like student body president. Um, yeah, like don't overexert yourself, but like, if you really want to like be a good like people person, get those experiences. Be well-rounded. You weren't elected. That's okay. I think it was a really good experience, wasn't it? Oh, Brian, you have to go. Okay. Oh yeah. Anyway, do your best. Love basketball, and make it a goal. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. See ya. Okay. Well, it's approaching the 2 hour 30 minute 33 minute. Anyone on Instagram? We got someone who's not as I feel like people are joining and people are leaving. There's 0 views on Instagram. Nelson, it's just me and you. You have anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to say, or like kind of anything? Anyway, you want to see? You want to try? We can be pretty experimental with this. Okay, got it. Unfulfillment thing was the main thing you wanted to let out. I don't know why I decided to show that. Good. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I hope you had a good experience listening to this, and we'll probably try to make it. Yeah, this. So this past week, I did 3 live streams. Actually, technically 4 if you're counting last week's Saturday one. So there's a lot of things I want to try. There's probably like I'm still trying to figure out like a formula for like kind of how things I want to set up, but I'm actually really enjoying this so far. Even if it's dude, I was alone for a stream for most of it, and then last like 20 minutes someone came, and then just like it made it so much easier. Even just having 1 or 2 viewers. But maybe we just need to advertise this more and just I don't know. Hey, Nelson, you have a good time? You have a good time in this? Is this something you feel like people would benefit from? Yes. I'll do. Okay. I'll just have to do more outreach. Make sure people are reminded. And then maybe potentially find a better time. But I think Saturdays are a good day. Saturdays are not bad. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have a good day. Um, um, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. So basically, we talked about it takes courage to change. We talked about, um, yeah, kind of. Let's see. Talked about actually quite a few topics. So let's see. We talked about bamboo and investments. We talked about how it takes like when we invest into something and suddenly like that change we just like feel it in our lives. It feels like change suddenly happens. But well, I totally remember the point that I was trying to make earlier where I totally didn't finish the thought. um, yeah, but like having courage, change, and see, before the main event of yeah finding fulfillment and true freedom and really being somebody who can find healing and their personal confidence. Um, so I guess with that, I'm gonna close. So let me do this and just have a closing song, and there you go. All right, see ya. Have a good one. Have a good day. All right, Phil. Have a good one. Peace out.